Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So, I like to explain to my first time people just real quick how this kind of works. I hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There's always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what he's talking about. So now he's already talking. Hang on. This is not an exact science. Hang on. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. He won't give me all the details. Details are none of our business. So he should give me just enough so you understand what he's talking about. He keeps going. Sorry, they make my head itch. Their energy makes my head itch. He says, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He's over here. Damn it, tell her. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. He just keeps saying it repeatedly. He's still saying it. You are very precious to me. I didn't mean the things I said. I don't know why I said what I said. It just happened that way. It wasn't really on purpose. I kind of felt possessed. Now, I don't really believe that people get possessed, so let's not go there. So as far as being possessed, he doesn't mean possessed by the devil or anything like that. He couldn't control his mouth. He couldn't control anything in his life towards the end. He doesn't expect anybody to understand totally because at the time he didn't understand it himself. He he says he wants you to forgive him. So, but he also wants me to explain when we leave, we're cleansed. When we get up there, there is no judgment. There is, at least not in my experience in all my readings, I've only seen forgiveness, love, total love and cleansing. And it's like they peel us like an onion. They strip us of all the heavy negative feelings down here, the anger and the resentment and all those heavy feelings to help get our spirit light and bright. The vibration goes up. We get rid of all that crap from down here on earth. So it's not like he needs the forgiveness for himself because he said he's still going through the cleansing process. So there's still some of that going on, even though it pretty much happens instantaneously. There is no time. There is no clock. There's no calendars up there. But you need to forgive him for yourself, to kind of let that go. He says he doesn't want it to be a piece of baggage that you carry with you, that you carry to your next relationship, that you drag along. And he's showing like a heavy suitcase with a ball and, not ball and chain, like you're handcuffed with a long chain to this heavy suitcase and you're dragging it along with you with all that crap in it. He wants you, I don't know how much woo-woo stuff you have. I have no clue how much woo-woo stuff you know. But visualize And this is his thinking what will help. There's a handcuff on you with that chain. Visualize, imagine just that you take a key and you release that handcuff and you leave that baggage behind you. Leave it. Don't look back at it. He said in the long run, it's going to make you a stronger person. He's more worried about it making you a bitter person. It's not your thing. But he says, so every time something like this happens in your life, and it probably won't be this dramatic, this big a deal as this, and it could be. I don't know. I don't know what else you're gonna have. What other tests and lessons you're gonna have in your life. But what did you learn from this? Did you learn how strong you are? Did you learn that you can still love yourself? Did you learn that nobody's gonna make you feel like shit about yourself? Did you learn that you can stand on your own 2 feet? Did you learn you have big girl panties on? That's what he's wanting you to understand. What did you learn from this about yourself? That it's not your fault. He's poking his finger at you. He said it's not your fault. It's not your fault. So if you have a little bit of that in there, leave it in that suitcase. We all have lessons to learn. We're here to learn lessons. The ones we learn the best, the ones that we learn the fastest, are the ones that kick us in the ass the hardest. The ones that hurt the most are the ones that we remember. We go, yeah, we don't want to do that again. He's wanting you to know that you passed with flying colors, as long as you don't carry it with you like a heavy suitcase. Gonna remember it, but not like that heavy suitcase. Leave it there. Just, it's not like you're gonna forget it, but I know what he's trying to say. Okay, he's talking about a dog. Talking about a dog. It's a large dog. It's kind of a darker colored dog. The dog sees him. And I will say, small children, usually under the age of 10, and animals, see them, hear them, no problem. So if you have this large, darker dog, watch the dog. It may look in the corner and wag its tail. It could growl, it could bark, it could whimper, it could like go over and sniff. And I don't know why I always say the corner of the room. I mean, it's not like they're always in a corner, but you know what I mean? It might just be looking at nothing. The dog's ears are up, wagging its tail, laying on the floor, and looking very lovingly at him. Dog's not afraid of him. So watch the dog. Whoever has this dog, watch the dog. The dog will interact with him. I think I already mentioned that young children see them talk. Everybody's had an imaginary friend if you think back when you were little. Usually when you get to be around 9 or 10 years old, then they kind of start going, people are going to think I'm crazy if I can see my dead grandma or something, and I talk to her. And then they kind of start shutting it down. And of course, society and parents go, yeah, can't see your imaginary friend. But there's a young girl. I feel like she's 10-ish. I stink at ages, so don't hold me to that number. I feel like she might be a little older, over that mark. She's got longer hair, a little bit lighter colored, maybe, not absolutely 100% sure. She's seen him. But it's one of those things like, did I just see that? What was that? One of those kind of things. So I would imagine you can see them in your peripheral vision, and I include this up here. If I'm looking down and see them walk by, and you look up and you don't see anything, but out of the corner of your eye, you see something walk by, and it's like she saw that. Let's see if he's going to show me exactly. I think she just saw him standing there. I don't think he was moving. At least that's the way he's showing it. And then when you turn your head, and they do it to me too, turn your head and there's nothing there, so you think, oh, that was just my imagination. No, she saw him. She's actually showing that it was outside. I see a bunch of trees and stuff behind her, and she thought she saw someone standing there, and then when she turned around, he wasn't there. So know that that was real. It works that way. I don't know why. I mean, I can see them head on, but they still do it to me too. He said it kind of spooked her. She probably didn't say anything to anybody because she figured it was her imagination, but it kind of, he's going like this, so she probably got a chill at the same time, which is feeling his energy. He said it's perfectly safe. He's not going to do anything to anybody. It's not that way. You, we have such a different perspective when we get up there, and we cleanse and we get all this crap off of us and blah blah blah, all that stuff. So it's nothing but love, and that love is the highest vibration there is, and that is what we strive for. That's the ultimate goal when we leave, and it's supposed to be the ultimate goal here, but we don't do it. Not like we're supposed to. Whoever this little girl is, he loves her very much, and he wants to protect her. Not that she needs protection, not like this is a warning or anything. He feels like she's taking it pretty hard, and he's showing in her gut, like internalizing it, like probably holding it in, probably not letting all of it out that she's feeling. He says it's eating her up more than she's letting on. She needs to know he's okay. She needs to know it's all okay now. See what he's going to show. He's trying to show me something. Hang on. He's doing push-ups. He's doing push-ups, and you know how well, I say military guys, doesn't have to be military, but do push-ups and they clap their hands, and then when they're on the up thing, and then they do more push-ups. He's trying to show that he's very healthy. He's healthy. He's strong. He's clean. He said he's cleansed almost. There's, like I think I said that before, there's still a couple things he's working on. One of them is helping to heal you. Asking for help in that department. I promise you 1,000%. He can hear you. He can see you. Talk to him all you want to. Call him an asshole. Tell him you love him. Whatever you want to do. He can take it. He can hear it. But he can he can also help. Okay, he says you are doing a good job. You are doing an awesome job. He's very, very proud of you. He's showing an older lady, and I would guess it would be a mother type figure. And I always say mother type because the little lady next door can feel more like your grandmother than your real blood grandmother that lives clear across the country that you talk to once a year at Christmas. So if it's not your mother, it's somebody that feels like a mother who has been a big support for you, and he's applauding. He's very happy about that. He says you're a very strong lady. You found out what you were made of. And don't let anybody take that away from you. Not even me. Him. Not me. Him. Me, him. Sorry. He says you have nothing to be sorry for. Now he's going back to forgiving yourself. Even if you know that you didn't do anything wrong, or maybe you did, who knows? I don't know. But even there's still somewhere in you that thing that you need to forgive yourself for. He says it's just the way it is. So he wants you he's showing you like dropping it in a bucket and leaving it there. Like in a 5-gallon bucket. So what are you showing? Drop it in the bucket, leave it there, let it go. He says easier said than done. He says you're gorgeous. And I do love you. This is just the way it was supposed to be. I know there's some things we plan before we come here, so this is evidently one of them. And we also, I don't understand it, but before we come down here, we decide our exit point. I don't know if we always decide how we're going to exit, but we decide our exit point. And it can be when you're 1 day old or 100 years old. Whatever that exit point is, it can waver a little bit depending on what's going on around you. The people, how it's going to affect them, or for your spirit and your soul's growth. But it was his exit point, so he was going to leave anyway. Okay, so he's showing himself, and he's got earbuds in. Hang on, let me grab mine so I can show you what he's doing. Okay, he's sitting there with earbuds on. And he's on my right side, so he's going to pull on the right one, but he's showing it on the left side. So I guess it could be either one. But anyway, it's like he's not showing me who's going to be wearing them. They could be wireless. It could be Bluetooth. It may not have a string on it, but he's showing the ones with the string on them. That's why I put these on. And he's good grief. Grandson's dog decided to throw a fit, made me jump out of my skin. Anyway, and he's showing like he's going to walk. He's not showing who it is. He's not. It's going to be a female, but he's showing it on himself. So I don't know. Usually they'll show me who it is, and he's going to grab and jerk it out. And whoever it is going to put it back in, and he's going to jerk it out. And that will happen should happen several times. So watch for that to happen, whether to yourself or I don't know if you have kids or somebody around you. You could be sitting there and watching this happen to somebody. Know that that'll be him. Whenever he sends you a sign, validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more. So I always ask them to come up with unique signs because everybody knows about the feathers and the cardinals and all butterflies and stuff. So He says when he's around you, when he pops in, you're going to get the nasty medical smell that you hated the most. That's going to be a very distinctive sign. Always asking for something unique. So when you get that, and you can be in your car, you can be in the store, you can be outside, get that whiff, you'll know it's him. Validate him, acknowledge him, tell him you love him, and ask him to bring you more if you want more. That's your free will choice. You don't have to. He said, I still want to help. I still want to help. Something about a pair of his shoes in the house. Something about there's still a pair of his shoes sitting in a certain spot where he left them. I don't know if he's trying to validate himself or if he's going to do something to these shoes, with these shoes. You might watch them, they might move a little bit. Or if he's just acknowledging he knows they're still there. In somebody's house, anyway. He says we had some good times. We had some awesome times. We have some beautiful children. You are a fabulous mom. And he's like beaming. You are a fabulous mom. He couldn't have asked for a better mom for his kids. Kids, he said it with an S, so I'm assuming you have more than one. They will grow up to be beautiful women like you. So I'm assuming there's more than one girl. With spunk, with fire, with strength. Then he's going back to the one he mentioned before. That one I don't want to say concerned about. Maybe just needs a little more attention. Maybe doesn't quite understand it yet. He says you need a cup like mine. Like one of my friends made this for me. He said you are a badass bitch. And take that in a good way. Because he said that's the way he meant it. Something about a lake. I don't know if there's a lake you guys used to go to. Sometimes they'll just throw words out. He says, Grandma's here, and it's almost like his heart just melts. So whichever grandma that he was just totally in love with, just loved more than anything, that grandma's there with him. And it just brought him so much peace to see her. He saw her before he left. And this is quite common. If you talk to anybody that works like in a nursing home or something, they see their loved ones, they come because they come to retrieve them. And they bring them peace, and they feel safe when they leave because they know that they're going to be okay when they leave. And there was also a man about grandma's age, so I'm assuming that's probably a grandpa. He's not saying. And they were kind of there to take charge. He actually reached his hand out to her not too long before he left because he saw her standing there. And As usual, I almost always see a beautiful angel that will be usually standing behind their bed or wherever they're at. Kind of oversees everything. He says, I am at peace. And I am totally surrounded with love. And everything is as it should be. I'm whole again. We get rid of this broken body, this heavy broken body. This is just our vessel for our spirit, our soul to run around in on earth. Everything is peace. And I do love you. Even though it may not have seemed like it, I do. And I did. And I hope that you can trust that. He's talking about playing checkers. So either he played checkers with you, the kids, you've recently played checkers, or you saw your checker game sitting there, or somebody was talking about playing checkers. I'm not sure exactly what. Sometimes when they throw that out there, I'm not sure where they're going with it. That's where you got to kind of stretch it outside the box a little bit. It's his show. He can do anything he wants within reason. He says tonight is a full moon, which it is. Do you have any crystals? He's pointing at my necklace, which is tourmaline, which kind of pushes the negative energy away. So if you have any tourmaline or necklace or any crystals, put them out tonight. He says, I want to see you happy. I want to see your life great. I don't want to bother you. And I won't. But if you need help, you can call on him. It's perfectly safe. Perfectly safe. He's kind of making me feel like you're going like, no, stay away. I'm scared of you being here. And it's not that way once we leave, especially once we go through the cleansing process and everything. Whatever he was good at here, helping with, that something he understands how it works here. He can still help you with that, and he would be perfectly safe to ask him to do that. So don't be afraid to ask him, because he can hear you. He says, watch the dog. And I think he meant watch the dog for signs of him being around. And don't be afraid if he's around. There's nothing to be afraid of. I'm getting the same feeling with this as I did when my brother passed. We didn't get along. And I thought, now what? Now I'm worried. But it doesn't work that way. It really doesn't. Not once we get up there. We see everything so different, especially once we're cleansed. So there's definitely no threat. So if that worries you, no problem. What can I help you with? Again, he wants to help. He says, I can hear you saying, I don't need your fucking help. I got this. Didn't need your help here. I don't need it now. And that's okay. That's your free will choice. You do whatever you want. He's trying to sing a song, Just Remember I Love You. said, just remember I did love you before all the shit. Uh, the song I'm hearing is by Firefall. Just remember I love you and it'll be all right. Because that's my generation. Firefall was. He says, know that everything's cool. Know that everything's cool. So if you do want signs from him, tell him so. Give him permission. If you don't want signs from him, tell him so. Tell him off limits. If they make me itch. Their energy makes me itch. If you want his help, ask him. If you don't, tell him stay away. It's your place, your zone, your world. Tell him whichever way works for you. And he will have to abide by it. Somebody's a young lady. He's not talking about you. And I don't think he's talking about the younger girl. A young lady, very mature. And things are going to be okay. This is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, it's all about our lessons and stuff. Stuff our soul, for our soul and spirit to grow, for us to evolve higher. I don't get it. I keep bitching at him all the time. Can't you find a nicer way for us to kind of learn our lessons? Can't we learn it with nice things instead of bad things? So anyway, he's no threat. Ask him or tell him to stay away. Whatever you want. I did that with one of my in-laws. You're not allowed here. You're not allowed in my domain. I made her leave. She was not good for me. But he's no threat. He's really not. He wants to lay his head on your shoulder. He wants to lay his head on your shoulder and make everything better. Make the whole thing better, he says. So he's actually laying his head on my shoulder, so you might feel that, and it might feel just like a little bit of pressure. Could feel, I always tell people, could feel just like a tea towel being on there, just a slight pressure. You could get goosebumps. You could feel heat there. It could feel like, boy, when they really want to get my attention and I'm ignoring them, they'll be like a pin sticking me, and I go, hey, I got, okay, you got my attention. So it could be anything like that. Right on your shoulder. He's on my right shoulder. Doesn't have to be the right shoulder. It might be. He says, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And I don't know what else to say. But we also get rid of our regrets and resentments and things like that when we're cleansed. So this could be something he's working on. He might still be working on the regret part. He says you deserve better. But it's the way it was supposed to be. He says go out and howl at the moon tonight. Full moon. Howl at the moon. Okay, with that, he's leaving. Please try to bring happy memories to my children about me and not all the things that happened in the end. And he's saying that very softly. And with that, he's leaving. Okay, my dear. Thank you for allowing me to be his voice. He's skipping as he leaves. He looks good. He looks good. He feels good. He's a little, I don't want to say mellow, but because we're not sad when we're up there. He's very calm, very serene, very cool, very collected, very healthy. Much love to you, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.